Hi, James. I bought a house and used most of my savings stocks. With mortgage, a kid, a wife not working, I felt a bit of a struggle to keep using just my salary. I do own about 40 Bitcoin, which I mined during the early days. I actually sold hundreds of them for a few $1,000s initially, but stopped doing so when Bitcoin hit $1,000. Clever move, by the way. I'm thinking of selling 20 Bitcoins to buy Tesla. If I do so, I'll probably have to pay 20% long-term capital gains tax plus 10% Washington state capital gains tax plus 3.8% NIIT. Meanwhile, I want to generate some income, hopefully by following your trade and using the tools you provided. Do you have any better suggestions? Well, there's a whole bunch we can do here. But first of all, let's just talk about should you sell? Because right now it appears that you are pretty much 100% Bitcoin. And I assume you were an early miner and you had Bitcoin under $1,000 and you had hundreds of them. So you imagine your cost basis is zero. Let's look at some math first and then talk about diversification, which I think is very important. Actually, we'll do the math after. But diversification is key. And as I kicked off this presentation today, AI will have the most profound and impactful impact on the planet ever in our history, okay? I mean that with absolute conviction since 2022, but my conviction has gone into hyper mode, okay? This is extremely serious. If you do not have AI exposure, I just want to go smack you around the face a little bit. Get some, literally get some. Not financial advice, of course, but let's talk about the Tesla investment case. And this goes back to, I've been modeling price prediction for Tesla and Bitcoin since 2017. I have literally hundreds of models. And I also, by the way, a fun side story, I also tracked lost wallets since 2017. And that's one of the things that made me so afraid of self-custody. Think about that. Because when you see so much being lost, it makes you very paranoid. But let's talk about the Tesla investment case, because you did mention it. The ROI of Tesla versus Bitcoin. First of all, Tesla is the leader in EVs, robotaxis, humanoid robots, energy storage, and now AI integration. Everybody, love him or hate him, you cannot fade Elon Musk, okay? Not a fanboy, a fundamental data analyst here. That's what I am. That's what I do. I've never seen anything like this in 35 years of analyzing companies. Never, not even remotely close. And I can hear the people with Elon derangement syndrome right now. They're like, oh no. Well, I don't care, okay? My job is to save souls. So I'll just say what is true, okay? Not anything else. But the price target for Tesla will be somewhere between $3,000 and $11,000 by 2030. Call that a 9.6x to 35x ROI from where we are right now at $313, real life price. Tesla, I do believe, will outstrip Bitcoin's performance, which would be a 2.5x to an 8x from here, which would be $300K to $1 million per Bitcoin. In fact, somebody said in a comment on my video yesterday, Bitcoin will never get to $1 million. Yeah, it's probably going to get to $1 million. You know why? Because your fiat is going to zero, everybody. That's a given. It's pretty easy to estimate. But the point here is 9.6x to 2.5x or 35x to 8x. Even if you say Bitcoin's going to $2 million by 2030, Tesla still beats it. Okay? So just, that's the thing. Now we're going to go more into comparative valuations. I gave some cases earlier regarding XAI and the value of that, and NVIDIA and the value of that compared to nation states. But let's talk about this one. Dojo has just decided to go into full-scale scaling. That means the speed of this puppy is 100 plus exaflops. Okay? This rivals NVIDIA's ecosystem. But these chips are optimized for training. Not compute per se, but for training. Also visual training. And I want to take a second to talk about visual training, why that's important. All the AI models have sucked in all the data that exists on the internet. That's it. There's no more data to analyze unless they create synthetic data. But the next level of data is video data. Guess who has more video data than anybody else on the planet? Tesla. Okay. That's why they've optimized these chips to look exactly that. And in fact, Elon Musk said 2 days ago or 3 days ago, they are dedicating 100,000 B200s to create video. No, there's nobody in the planet that even has that many available, never mind dedicate them to creating video. That's how big this is. Soon, these chips will be creating, motion pictures and whatever else. RIP Hollywood, good riddance, bye-bye. Anywho, getting off on a rant here, but the point I'm trying to make here is Tesla Dojo valuation. This is one of their 12 little lines of business, okay? They have a chip now that rivals NVIDIA's ecosystem, but it's optimized for training. It's extremely low energy consumption and very, very fast. And if you imagine they scale it okay, it could be conservatively worth $2 trillion, like half the market cap of NVIDIA. This is like a little Easter egg inside the value of the Tesla stock price, which last week was under $1 trillion. They have this Easter egg worth $2 trillion. That's not even accounted for, just like energy and all the other good stuff that they do. Bonkers. If they match NVIDIA, it's $4 trillion if it disrupts broadly. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. Now let's get back to you and talk about taxes. There will be a penalty for you to sell your Bitcoin and pay taxes, but does it make it even with the ROI of what I've covered? Your 20% federal income tax, etc. Selling 20 Bitcoin would generate $2.4 million. You'll have to pay about $803,000 in taxes, leaving you $1.574 million net, about 5,021 shares of Tesla, and that's 16.74 retire on Tesla bags. And that could be worth $40 million by the year 2030 to 2032. So yes, pay the taxes, diversify. Not financial advice. Hope that helps. And again, you don't have to go all in on Tesla, just have AI exposure. I don't care what it is. NVIDIA is already at 4 trillion. Tesla's at 1 trillion. It should be at least 2 trillion, but markets are irrational. We'll talk more about the irrational markets in a second too.